On this day of August 22nd, 1999, it was a wonderful and sunny afternoon, filled with laughter and joy, as guests rode the rides and enjoyed themselves at the amusement park Paramount Great America in Santa Clara, California. Joshua Smurphat, a little boy who was born with a disability, held a unique affection for the park throughout his life. But no one knew that this location would end up being the final one that this youngster ever came to see in his lifetime. The pleasure and excitement of the amusement park would soon be replaced by shock and horror, as one of the most infamous tragedies in the history of amusement park mishaps takes place right in front of their eyes. Joshua, a boy of 12 years old, was riding his favorite ride when he suddenly flew out of his seat and tragically lost his life. The youngster's life was too difficult for him to bear. On August 22, 1999, the amusement park went from being a place of joy to a place of disaster. This is the tragic story of the untimely demise of a 12-year-old boy, Joshua Smurphat, by falling from his most favorite ride at Paramount Great America Park. He spent his childhood in the city of Sunnyvale, California. When he was a kid, he was gentle and reserved. Since it was so close to his home, Joshua spent a lot of time at the Paramount Great America amusement park. To him, the spot meant everything in the world. Joshua had a number of issues, both mental and physical, ever since he was a toddler. Even though Joshua had certain health issues, he still enjoyed going to the amusement park, and despite those issues, he would have been able to ride those attractions there. In fact, no one could have prevented him from going and riding the rides that he enjoyed the most. On August 22, 1999, Joshua, along with two other children, his mother, two of her friends, and two other adults, went to spend the day at Paramount Great America, also known as California's Great America. It turned out to be a lovely and relaxing afternoon for Joshua and his mother and friends. It is claimed that California's Great America is the top destination in the United States for thrill seekers as well as families, because it features more than 60 rides, eateries, and even a water park. On May 20, 1976, it was initially presented to the public. The Drop Zone Action Tower is one of the attractions that can be enjoyed there. On March 16, 1996, the Drop Zone Stunt Tower first opened to the public. This structure is a drop tower. It acquired its name from the Paramount film Drop Zone, in which riders get the opportunity to free fall 224 feet, which is the equivalent of 22 floors, in just 4 seconds. When riders reach the summit, depending on which direction they face, they will either be able to see a view of Levi's Stadium or perhaps San Francisco. The ride was the fastest one in the park, and the only safety features were a headrest and a shoulder support. Nevertheless, there was no safety belt. The group went to the amusement park that day and spent a few hours there before making the decision, at approximately 3:20 p.m., to ride the Drop Zone Thrill Tower ride. A warning alert appeared on the screen of one of the operator's computers just before the ride began. Due to this, they were forced to call it a day and end the journey, with Joshua's group being the very last ones to ride. Joshua was not a first-time rider on the attraction. He had every intention of bringing his mother, Tammy, along with him, but there just wasn't enough space in any of the vehicles for both of them to travel together. Joshua, on the other hand, continued on with a family friend and two of the other younger children in the group. The journey started that day, and they made their way up to the peak, which was 220 feet above the ground, where they stopped for the night. As the minutes ticked down from 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, Tammy kept her gaze fixed on the clock. Meanwhile, the automobile began to tip over. She stated that her son jumped out of his seat as the trip began to decline in speed. She yelled, then sprinted toward the exit gate in an attempt to catch up with him there. She added that the things she saw after that would stay with her for the rest of her life. Gary Winslow, who was standing in line at the time, stated that he witnessed what took place and described it as follows. "When the ride started, I saw the bar fly up. The young child, Joshua, was having a difficult time remaining contained within the box, when suddenly he flew out of it feet first, performed a spin, and landed directly on his head. We rushed over to offer assistance, but it was obvious that it was too late for Joshua. Joshua had already passed away. Joshua's mother raced over yelling and shaking, demanding to know why they didn't pull the bar down and how something like this could occur. It gave me the creeps. When Joshua hit the concrete with his skull at 62 miles per hour and less than 5 feet away from where his mother was standing, according to Tammy, the impact was so severe that his head split apart and his brains ended up on her shoes. Joshua was killed the moment he hit the ground. After Joshua's passing, the family made the decision to inter his remains at Mission City Memorial Park in Santa Clara, which is located in the state of California. An investigation was initiated as soon as possible. It has been reported that a witness told the police that the ride operators did not check Joshua's harness before the ride began. However, this report has been called into question. They also discovered that the persons operating the rides were children themselves. The youngest volunteer we had was only 14 years old, which is younger than the minimum age required to operate the rides. There were conflicting accounts that the ride operator, or the 16-year-old who was responsible for securing Joshua to the ride, did not do a decent job. One account claimed that the ride operator did not do a good job of securing Joshua. Because Joshua's safety strap was down and locked the entire time the ride was operating, the attraction was mechanically sound, and there was no trace of operator mistake. The team of safety experts and independent investigators decided that there was no basis to pursue charges against Paramount Great America. In addition, there was no indication that the ride had been operated in an unsafe manner. In addition, the district attorney's office in Santa Clara County had the same opinion. According to a statement made by a representative of Paramount Great America, we don't know how Joshua got between the locked harness and the seat, but we do know that he did. The organization has gone above and beyond to ensure that anything like this will never occur again. Additionally, they contributed in Joshua's honor. Following the incident, the amusement park installed a safety strap on the ride, and it has been operational ever since. Joshua's family filed a lawsuit against the park, but it was to no avail. During that period of time, unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of attention paid to this case, until another 14-year-old boy, Tyre Sampson, lost his life falling from a ride. The question that needs to be answered is why these rides can still go if the seatbelt is not in a safe place, and the answer to that question is needed as soon as possible. Leave a comment and a like on this video if you are interested in learning more about the same occurrence that occurred with Joshua Smurphat. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to see more videos like this one in the future.